Rick, you told yourself you'd be able to keep it together for this video, but I know, but folks, come on, this stuff is amazing. Dirt cheap dungeons, folks, this is it. You're looking at a lightweight, affordable, and gorgeous way to set up a dungeon, and I'm telling you, look at this. Beautifully textured walls, beautifully textured doors. There's no need to paint this, though you absolutely could if you wanted to. Speaking of the doors, they're some of the smoothest operating doors I've ever encountered in any miniature terrain. Just a very basic setup here, just to give you a little idea of how this will work. A couple diagonal walls here, courtesy of the Diagonal Walls pack. Kind of a magic swirling door here, courtesy of the Magic Doors and Hidden Doors pack. We have a little cell over here with a prisoner inside. Folks, this stuff, I mean, come on, look at all these pieces. Are you kidding me? Just imagine the layout you can do if you took a couple minutes and put something amazing together. This, you know I love me some Dwarven Forge, but my God, is that stuff heavy and hard to transport, folks. This is it. Hey everyone, Rick here, and good God, do I have something exciting to show you guys. This package arrived on a Sunday. What is today, the 22nd of December? I saw an advertisement on Facebook from one of my favorite retailers, Noble Knight Games, advertising this stuff from Dirt Cheap Dungeons. I'd never heard of it before. Apparently they ran a Kickstarter late last year, early this year for cheaper but still fantastic dungeon terrain. Walls, doors, stairs, all the good stuff you need. As soon as I saw that Facebook ad, I was like, holy cow, how did this slip by me? How did that pass under my radar? I went to their website, was completely blown away. I went back to the Kickstarter page, watched all the videos, have also watched some YouTube reviews. Oh my gosh, this stuff looks fantastic. Now, you know I am in love with Dwarven Forge, own tens of thousands of dollars in Dwarven Forge and other dungeon terrain. But this stuff just, okay, enough talk, let's crack this thing open. So yeah, like I said, delivered on a Sunday. On their website, they said order by a certain time Friday, and we'll get this to you by Christmas. So late Thursday, I placed the order, and then, you know, expecting it maybe this week sometime. But no, on today, Sunday the 22nd, it said it got here. Oh my gosh, this is going to be exciting. So first of all, I actually picked up a couple of these tote bags, which we will look at everything in greater detail in just a second. And also, you know, without all of my shaky camera work. But for starters, here is one of the tote bags. They're two different sizes. One's a smaller one and one is a slightly larger one. But I got both sizes just because I wanted to haul not only this stuff in it, but I thought it'd be a handy tote bag just to carry a bunch of things. So this is the other one. And then we get to the fantastic stuff. Uh-oh, it looks like one of the packages opened up. But there's two small accessory sets here and one larger one. So we will get these to the table in just a second and crack them open. This, I believe, are the diagonal connectors for the walls. And so you can have the walls at an angle. And this was a pack of doors, like hidden doors that'll mesh well with the walls, and also some magic doors, and a ton of little connectors, as you can see. And then I also picked up the Legend set of the actual Dirt Cheap Dungeons. This is the largest single set of this stuff that they have right now. Doesn't look like anywhere on the packaging you can actually see what it looks like, but the box itself is pretty nice. I mean, it has this handle and everything. All right, so give me just a second. We're going to clean this all up, crack this open, and take a closer look. All right, first of all, let's take a peek at these totes. Now, I'm going to actually have to go back to the website and figure out which one is actually the small one and which one's the large one, because I've actually tried them both out. Here's one of them with the little Velcro strap down here, which is fantastic for keeping it closed. This one holds the Legend set perfectly with You know, not a whole lot of room to spare. You might be able to slip a book in there, but I actually, and I'll show you, let's just do that. All right, so I took the legend set out of here, and then this one has just a Velcro closure there. Stuck the legend set in this one, and you know, maybe be able to slip another book or two in here as well. So there's not actually, from what I can tell, not a whole lot of size difference. This one does have several more pockets and stuff, but they both will hold the legend set quite nicely. So that is the tote bags and little, you know, pouch over here. And they're just very handsome. And I'm glad I got two, so I can stick that one in there. Maybe the accessory packs and a little case of figures and dice and stuff in the other one. So that's super handy. Okay, so just looking at the legend set packaging, it is super handsome and gives you a little detail on the back, what is included. Watch out for mimics, of course. And let's cut this guy open and see just how much stuff is in here. Because it says, you know, over 54 feet, about 300 pieces of dungeon terrain, all in this pretty portable looking package. All right, here we go. Affordable gaming accessories, excellent. A picture of inspiration. Little stairway information. Always love when it does give you a bit of a guide in case you wanted to know how to clip the doors on or how to use those clips. And then here we go, folks. Look at this. This is a thick box just completely packed with what feels like very solid plastic components. Let's get in here and take a peek at these because I've, you know, been hearing online, seeing in pictures that it is textured plastic. So you can see that there, which, folks, if you've seen any videos on my channel, even completely unrelated to miniatures and terrain, I've probably still shouted from the rooftops how much I love pre-paints, how I just don't have the time nor talent to deal with any of that stuff myself. So the fact that, yes, this does look to be very nicely textured, you know, stonework. That's not to say that obviously you couldn't do something with this more elaborate, do a wash or a dry brush or a blood splatters or, you know, let your imagination run wild. But that, it just looks fantastic out of the box, which is exactly what I am going to want. Here's a stairway. There's tons of different doorways. So there's obviously double doorways, single doorways. Here is a pack of clips. Looks like there's actually a few packs of clips in here. I love the custom little containers with their adorable logo on there. So we'll definitely be breaking into all of this. Here, it looks like there are a couple packs of doors in here. And again, well, let's just open one of these up if we can, one-handed. And you can see the wood looks like it's made out of wood chips. And I know, and I'm sure maybe somewhere on this packaging also goes into the fact that I believe I read somewhere that these are comprised of a certain portion of recycled materials. And they look great. I mean, hopefully the camera can pick up the fact that you can actually see, you know, little bumps where the nails or whatever would have been driven through to get that door to be fairly sturdy. And it looks like there's a couple different kinds of doors because that was probably, you know, half of a double door. Here is a single, almost like a cage or a cell door. And there's also additional wooden single doors as well. So, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to dive into this. This whole package just looks absolutely fantastic. All right, folks. Well, you know, before we go, let's also take a look at these. So I had to hold myself back because there's, I think, 3 different sizes of these sets. The Rogue, the Something, and the Legend. And they just get bigger and bigger And so I grabbed this one, but I had to hold myself back from grabbing the other two as well. I'm like, Rick, just hold the phone. See what you can do with this first before you go crazy. But then I did have to pick up some of these accessory packs, like this one, which has this little instruction sheet to show you how the best ways to use these. This is for diagonal placement, so these little clips will hold the walls at angles, which of course is fantastic. And it comes with some walls as well. And these walls, just like in here, have little stands, little feet, so that they'll stand up nicely on their own. Thank God it actually did, because that is the first time that I stood a wall up. All right, and then lastly, also in this little adorable container are these other doors. These are like secret doors and magic doors. So as you can see, if you actually had the adapters attached to this already, but when this door would be placed in here, it would kind of blend into the wall. It's kind of a secret door, but then there is also these kind of swirling, marbleized magic arcane doors as well. That'll look fantastic. And then there's singles and doubles of all of that stuff. So we have a lot to look at. Let's get a gridded map out here and start putting some stuff out there. One other thing, let's talk prices. Everyone's always saying, Rick, why don't you tell us the prices of the damn thing? All right, fine. This was $290 for the Legend set. And then these messenger bags, which I just looked up online to figure out which was supposed to be the medium and the large is what it was. This one is actually the large. This one's the medium, despite the fact that this one has all of these extra pockets and stuff in it. This one does not, but apparently there must be slightly more room in this one. Apparently it's the large. Either way, I was charged about $14.99 for each of those, which is not bad, right? For a messenger bag, 15 bucks. This diagonal adapter set was $30. These doors were $20. And then again, $289.99, 290 bucks. For that. So that is the prices and a little more identification on those bags. Okay, folks, we are back. Here are some of these pieces out on this grid. This is just a Dungeons & Dragons adventure grid or something like that. It folds up like a board game board, which is fantastic. It's one of my favorite boards. But some of these wall pieces that I'm putting out here now, these are the three. Obviously, they're made for grids, so it's perfectly 3 inches long there. There are just ruined walls, doorway walls. Here's a 2-inch ruined wall, and then you'll connect these with these little connecting pieces. So obviously for a straight wall, just pop that on there. And then if we wanted to take this inside, I have all my little connectors here. So, I mean, and there's tons of different ones. And let's see if we can grab one of each. Because there are straight across connectors. Then there's your T intersections. Here is your 4-way intersection, and here's just your 90-degree right angle. And then this handy package over here has, your single wall, but at an angle. And then here's a Y intersection. And there actually are more straight intersections in here as well. And then there's also more of these walls. So here's a 1-inch wall. And I was, one of the things I saw when I was watching the video is that, I don't know if that was a sprue mark where the bottom, was clipped off. And I was worried about that. I was like, am I going to have to file that down on all of these pieces? Because there's that mark on the bottom of all the feet here. And I am so pleased to be able to tell you that no, they sit flush without you having to file that down, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to have to read more about these angled walls as well and see what that's all about. So, but let's stick with the basics here, folks. There are so many pieces. My God, let's just look at this box again, because then I didn't even realize there's multiple trays in this box. That was only the top tray. Holy cow, are you kidding me? All these much longer walls. There's another thing of connectors down there. Good God. Well, let's just leave that out for now, as a matter of fact, because let's see what else we got here. I mean, this is fantastic. And you know, if you've seen my videos, that I love Dwarven Forge, and I will always love Dwarven Forge. And the thing about miniature terrain is we're in a golden age right now. There is so much, especially for pre-painted. And I personally feel like, you know what? Let's have at it. Why not? There's no reason we can't all get along. And so, yeah, there is definitely room in this hobby for all of these manufacturers. I know WizKids is coming out with their Warlock tiles next summer, and I've already pre-ordered like $1,000 in Warlock tiles and expansion sets because of how excited I am for those, despite already having and basically in more than I'll ever need of the Dwarven Forge stuff. Look at that door. Look how beautifully flush that just looks in there. And yeah, oh, hell yeah. That opens and closes so nicely both ways. That may be one of the smoothest doors in miniature terrain. But yeah, so we can pop that on there with a little right angle, and those just clip on so smoothly. And you'll notice the clip holds it perfectly. That is right there, right at the intersection. This is right at that intersection of that grid. So the clip doesn't like add any extra space to it. Whereas, you know, some people were concerned, well, you know, with enough of these clips, if you kept going, would it eventually get off grid? And the answer appears to be absolutely not, because here is a wall section perfectly here and perfectly here, and that's just fantastic, and it looks fantastic. So anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. Just suffice to say that yes, there is room in this hobby for all of these terrain manufacturers. So why, if I love Dwarven Forge, would I, you know, because maybe some of you do too, and then you're like, well, why would I need this? Well, number one, Dwarven Forge is heavy. It is heavy as hell. I transport a single dungeon with me, and I have a huge tub of it. And, you know, even the Dwarvenite, I'm not just talking the Dwarven Forge resin pieces, I'm talking the Dwarvenite, the lighter of the two, the one that weighs the less of the two. And yeah, it is still super heavy if you get it in bulk. Okay, let's try a 4-way. Oh my gosh, this stuff is just freaking awesome, because I am, you know, I'm like, transport is key with this stuff. You can take this to conventions, to the game shops, to other people's homes. Look at this. Does this not look freaking fantastic? Oh my gosh, I am in love. Because I want to take this out, and I have rules for different dungeons, and not necessarily role-playing games, though obviously you can use this with Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, any kind of system that actually takes, you know, has need for such a visual representation of a dungeon. But I love that it just lines the grid lines. That's all it does. Leaves the full squares open for your miniatures, even inside of a room. That is the future. And Warlock Tiles is going to be doing something very similar with their very thin walls. Because you know, with Dwarven Forge, you have the ability to create rooms, but there are half squares. Now, there are ways around that with Dwarven Forge as well, but these thin walls are just fantastic. And then so you'll set up however you want to set it up. And I mean, these clips don't take any force. That's the other thing. I want to make sure that we make this as clear as possible. Otherwise, this video is a waste of your time and mine. When I'm watching these videos and looking at pictures online, the questions I have are, you know, what did the pieces actually look like up close? Hopefully we can actually kind of give you some focus on the detail of the brick. So it just looks nice. They have these feet that stand up just fine. The doors are freaking awesome. God, I love how smooth those doors are. These wall pieces, and obviously you probably wouldn't want to do that, but you could actually just do it at a slight angle over here and do something like this right in the middle of that wall. But see, then that creates that on this, and there's 2 here and 1 here. Anyways, I'm just loving this. But the clips themselves are not cumbersome to take on or off. And that was a big thing. Am I going to have to use force to put these clips on here? And no, the answer is no. I don't know how you can, you know, the force, the friction fit of these is not bad at all. And popping walls off and clips and boom, the entire thing right there is unassembled in 2 seconds. Obviously, that was a very small setup, but good Lord, I am in love. And the fact that there is no paint on these, but they still look good, and they're so lightweight, you can just crumble them all up and throw them around. Obviously, just being a decent human being, you're going to take better care of your stuff than that, but just the fact that there is no worry. They're lightweight, durable, they look fantastic. Folks, this is dirt cheap dungeons. This is so exciting. I can't believe that passed under my radar. This stuff is fantastic. Oh my gosh, I hope they keep going. I would love to see some dungeon accessories from these guys. This stuff is great. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. Any questions, leave them in the comments below. And until next time.